Hey, YouTube. Another day outside in my RC shop. I got this Traxxas Rustler recently. I got it. It's a used one, and it's got a few parts on it. But this is I'm gonna work on this real quick. Hopefully, it won't take too long. But it came with these aluminum shock towers on the front and the rear, and it's got the brushless system on it. But these aluminum shock towers are kind of heavy. They kind of make this car feel heavy. But it came with the stock shock tower for the front and back. So I think I might put the plastic back on today. The back one was broke, the stock that it came with, so I'll have to get me another one if I want to. Might order the RPM rear shock tower. But I've got the front one, so I might change that out. And then if I decide to go back to aluminum, I'll have them. But I'm gonna start with that. Looks like there's a couple of screws, to hold up your shocks up top. And then you've got a couple of screws down here. I mean, they're like right there where my finger was a second ago. So I gotta take those off, take the shocks off, and see what else I gotta do to get the front shock tower out. So I'm gonna get started on removing that now. Okay, this is just a little progress. I've already got the old aluminum one off, and I got this new one screwed on. And there's a few screws you got to take off to get this thing off. I had to get this other Rustler I have out, which is pretty much the stock Rustler, because it's got the stock shock towers. I just had to look and see how it was screwed down in there. But this one, I'm trying to record this on my cell phone. So anyways, you got to get this car back up. Got to unscrew like that, and then right there, and then those two at the front. Unscrew those two ones where the gray box, and then I turned my whole car upside down and got to the two screws that were holding in the bottom of this shock tower. So now I just got to screw this part back on and then flip it back upside down, flip it back over, and there will be 3 screws I'll have to line up to screw it. And I'll show you when I get there. Okay, so these 3 were the ones on the bottom. This 1, 2, 3. Those were what I unscrewed. I just now got them tight. And now I'm going to flip it back over. And I disconnected 2 arms off the front. 2 of the steering arms, so I'll have to rehook those back on. And the shocks. But I'm not done yet with with those 2. So let me get the screw right here. I think it's the 2.0, yeah. Get back to the other side. That's a 2.0 screwdriver bit on this on my RC right here. I don't know if that little gap will close down. Looks like it is. Come on, work it back up. Probably have to do this part off camera again, but just basically got to get these front front shocks put in, and then these arms, little steering arms. I cannot think of what they call these. But this Rustler has like these style arms on the bottom and the top. And this other Rustler's got the like that on the bottom, and it's like a plastic little arm on top right up there. So this one's a little bit different in the front, but I'm gonna get those springs shocks put on and those arms, and that's it. I got the front all screwed down back together. Turn that antenna. I put this antenna on here yesterday. It had a taller one, but I shortened it. That's a newer antenna tube. Anyways, I got these arms screwed on. I had to turn it upside down to screw those back. I guess it was this one. Screwing them into the shock tower. I got the shocks put back on. So they're all screwed on. Got the front done. So now I got the original plastic shock tower. Still got the aluminum on the rear. I'll have to get the RPM rear one. And this was a used car I just got. I just I noticed that I had this cap off from yesterday. I forgot, so I put that part back on that covers the little wires. And then I noticed that there was some glue holding down this box on this one end, so it's kind of, the glue came undone down there. So it's got some wiggle. So I might just take me a drill and drill straight through. Take that screw out and go straight through the bottom of the chassis, and then do a long RC screw or something with a nut on the bottom, and just screw it through and put a nut on the bottom there with the washer to screw into the chassis if I want. But until then, that other side's holding. Probably shouldn't keep fiddling with it, but for now it's back together. I've got the front tower, but it just feels super heavy in the rear, and the front was kind of heavy with that aluminum, but compared to like the other one I had that's still got the stock everything pretty much instead of this aluminum stuff, I just think it puts too much weight, and then can stress your like plastic parts more with having aluminum. So I normally run them with just plastic or RPM parts. If I'm going to upgrade what's on it, I usually go with the RPM stuff. It's got a little bit of grinding in the rear end. I'll have to check that out. But this is an older Traxxas Rustler. It came with this old school radio. And it's got an old school receiver in here. Well, kind of old, I guess. It's the micro receiver. Can't remember the number, but anyways, I ordered a newer receiver, so I'm waiting on it. It's a newer one. It's got the TSM, so I'll bind it to one of my radios that has the TSM, the stability management. And so I'll use one of those newer radios that's got the TSM and put that receiver in here. And I'll bind it to one of those radios. That I'm just trying to fix this one up. I mainly, I got it used. I got it's got that brushless Vinylon system, the VXL. So they said it was one of the first Rustlers that has the brushless, one of the first models that came brushless. I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm just trying to take this aluminum stuff off. Like, I'll probably leave these shocks, but give me a RPM shock tower for the rear, and then maybe get me a RPM cover just to help that. And then I just need to figure out, you can't really tell right now, but there was some grinding. It's not bad, I guess, because I've already drove it a little bit, but I need to check the gears just to check the bearings and put the RPM, probably shock tower once I order one, and then update that receiver and radio, and then basically drive it and just enjoy it for what it is. But that's pretty much it today. I just switched the shock tower. I might try to film some more later. Not sure yet, but just trying to go over the car. Everything seems to work so far. I might be able to just take a small drill, take that one screw out, drill it straight through, put me a nut on the bottom there with the long, RC screw or whatever I got. I've got a lot of extra screws on in the front. I put the bulk, I don't remember what they call them. I put those, I didn't put the screws that was on it, those Phillips had. I put like those type of screws for these front shocks. Some that I had, some extra screws. I've got a few extras, and I loosened them a little bit so there's like a little bit of wiggle up there. But I didn't want to use those Phillips screws, like they're still on the rear. The Phillips, which I guess they're fine, but I'd rather just put on like the RC style screws on it. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll make some more content later on this car. But just like a new project, just trying to get that brushless running on this old Rustler, and just to be a fun RC for fun, for probably a basher. Don't really have anywhere to race around here or anything that I know of. But anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.